Hey guys, how's it going? Hello, good morning. Good morning, everybody. Sorry I am a few minutes late. I had to I had to change up the description and the title of the video, and then sorry about that. And then my fan broke. I was like, huh. So, hello everyone, and welcome to Tuesday's Live. If you're into true crime and you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button as you're coming in. And please go ahead and smash that like button as well so we can get more people into the chat. I am going to wait for a few more people to kind of come in, so I'll probably get started around the 3 to 5 minute mark. Just let people kind of get in, get settled. Good morning, Lisa. If you haven't joined our membership program yet, please do so by clicking the Join Now button below, or you can join on the main page. I have 3 different tiers that you can choose from, and you get a lot of special perks that way. And then also, before we get started, all of the super chats, super thanks, the likes, the subscribers, I really appreciate all of the above. I don't have mods in my chat to kind of tell you guys that repeatedly, so if I tell you throughout the video, that is why. But I have so much to show you guys. There is so much going on. I mean, there's just so much going on. I knew that it was going to be a busy week, but I didn't realize how busy it was going to be. Hi, Joanne. Australia. Wow. Oh, 1:20 a.m. Ooh, it is only 10:24 a.m. in Ohio. So it's very early for you too, though, kind of. I've been starting to do earlier lives. I usually do my lives throughout the day, but normally more around the afternoon, evening time. So I'm giving mornings a whirl to see how it goes. And so far, the last couple of mornings have went great. The chat's been great. The subscriber count has went up. So you can't really beat that. You cannot complain when it's all good stuff, when it's all good. So we do have a lot of updates to kind of go over and things like that. So I'm going to go ahead and get started here in just a second. I'm going to give it just like maybe a minute or two longer, see if some more people kind of jump in. That way people don't come in and, we already went over one topic and then they're like, oh, what's going on? You didn't go over that or something. And we'll be like, oh, no, we already did. So I just want to give you guys a couple more minutes. How's everybody's morning? Hopefully it's great. I did not sleep that well last night. Hopefully everybody else slept pretty well though. I don't know why I couldn't sleep. I think it's because we got a new TV and I forgot to set the alarm to turn the TV off, and we had like a smaller TV. It was only like a 45-inch TV, and we went to a 65-inch. So on our wall, it looks like ginormous. And so I don't think I slept that well because of that. And then I'm also going to see what's kind of going on in the world as we're doing this. So if you hear me be kind of quiet for just a second, it's just because I'm checking one of the other social media platforms. But as you come in, just say hello in the chat and we will get started here in just 1 second. Okay, so lots to go over here. I have some notes with me. That's always a good thing. A couple of things I do want to go over before we get started with the Idaho Four Massacre 911 call, because I think that's pretty much like the biggest story that we have going right now, in terms of how much information I could give you. Hi, Isabel. Oh my gosh, you are amazing. I was telling my boyfriend yesterday about us, like how we were just, you were sending me information and things. And he was like, those like ladies are really good to you. And I was like, they are, because you guys always find such good stuff. Even when I know, like, I'm like right in front of the iPad, like looking at YouTube, you guys can be emailing me something I don't even know about. So that's what I love about YouTube. And compared to, like Facebook or something like that, which I do need to get a Facebook group probably started, but I do have a Twitter, which is, my handle is @TitaniumBuilt. I do a lot of, I do a lot of tweeting. I feel like not like a whole lot, but I'm starting to get a little better at it. If it's something that's a, small update where I don't need to do a full video, I'll blast it on there first. And it's just good to get on there because I do put a lot of information on there first. Also, I have a TikTok and a Patreon, and it's at TitaniumBuilt. So anyways, we'll go ahead and get back to it. So a couple things I wanted to go over before we get started is the press conference for Micheal Vaughn will be held on Thursday, December the 1st. It'll be 1 p.m. Idaho time. So that should be 4 p.m. here. So unless I'm incorrect, I hope I'm not, I'll be going live that day to, stream the press conference for you guys. And we will be talking about the different things, going on in the Micheal Vaughn case. I think that it's probably, has it been a month since Sarah went into the mental institution, do you think? Thank you, LibCom. My boyfriend lived in California. He's from LA. So Utah and I think LA is like the same time, but I always am like, is it mountain time or is it, Pacific? Thank you. So, okay, good. It's crazy. We have 2 cases out of Utah right now. Utah and Idaho, like those areas. I think we actually have 2 in Utah. Yeah, no, 2 in Idaho. I'm sorry, and then 1 in Utah. But just like those states are kind of all around each other. And so the press conference will be at 4 p.m. here. That's Eastern Standard Time. So good morning, Sarah Sunshine. So so make sure that you guys. I'll probably try to make that press conference today. That way you guys will have it like the live, and you'll see the thumbnail for it. That way you can set if you want to be notified, you can set the notification on there. Also, Jerad Liesek will be in court on November 30th. It's going to be a busy week. So November 30th at 10:30 a.m. We've been waiting for this. So that's Utah time. So it'll be 1:30 Eastern Standard Time. I will go live also. He's going to be going on there during WebEx. Good morning, Miss Phantasmatic Ether. So he's doing WebEx. So he will be appearing, and that's what it says. Can't wait to see that. I looked up for a court date for Leilani Simon, but there was nothing out for her yet. And it did say, here, I'll share this with you. I meant to share these with you. Let's see. Because I've just been going and looking. So this one is where I'll probably end up streaming it from, because it says that you can look up the courts right there. But it just says, Jerad Liesek court date for November 30th, and he's been approved to appear remotely, presumably from his home in Oregon. The hearing is open to the public. It's scheduled for 10:30 Utah time, and then it just says, here's the link. And then also, I believe it was Cinema Shogun. He just did a video on it too, and he has a link, he said. I saw that, Isabel. Yep, that's the next one I was going to go over. I was like, yeah, I saw that too, right when I was on Twitter. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. So Jerad Liesek, his court date's November 30th, and we can watch it online, which is good, I guess. I just want to see him, see what he has to say. He's pleading, I guess he's pleading not guilty, but I'm okay. Go ahead. I mean, I don't know how I feel about that. He can go ahead, but he already said in the emails what happened, so that's not going to be good for his defense anyway. And then the next case I was going to tell you guys about was the Delphi case, change of venue. This is so stupid. Delphi defendant Richard Allen and his attorneys have asked for a change of venue in his murder trial. Allen's attorneys have requested a jury and trial at least 150 miles away from Carroll County. Allen is accused of the 2017 murders of Abby Williams and Libby German. And I'll read the affidavit here in a second, but he can move it to freaking Africa if he wants to. But people know this case. Go ahead. Move it to Ohio. Bring it over here. Bring it to me, I mean, isn't that insane that he's trying to ask for any? I mean, I wouldn't want my court date there either. I'm not going to say I would. But, he can't be doing that. I can't blow this one up for you guys. Sorry, I thought I could. I wonder if I can hear. Nope. Yeah, okay. MacBooks are not the greatest when it comes to wanting to zoom in. They're kind of hard. But it just says the state of Indiana, County of Carroll, state of Indiana versus Richard Allen. It says verified motion for change of venue from the county. Comes now the accused Richard Allen by and through counsel Brad Rossi and Andrew J. Baldwin in pursuit of criminal rule 12A of the Indiana Rules of Criminal Procedure request that the court change venue from Carroll County. In support of this motion, I'm sorry, my phone was ringing. The accused and his counsel swears and affirms the following. On October 28, 2022, the state of Indiana filed a probable cause affidavit and charging information alleging that Richard Allen murdered victim 1 and victim 2 on or about February 13, 2017. Number 2 was that the allegation stemmed from a highly publicized death of 2 Carroll County teenagers. Number 3, that even before Richard Allen had been accused of these crimes, the matter had been highly publicized. Number 4, the extensive media attention began while the victims were missing. Number 5, the extensive media attention continued after the victims were found. Number 6, the extensive media attention continued for the next 80 months, 5+ years in a variety of formats until Richard Allen was arrested. Well, you're damn right. We needed to keep it out in the public. So then it has like A, B, and C. A, coverage on local, statewide, and national television media. B, coverage on local, statewide, and national print media. And C, coverage on several podcasts that reach local, state, national, and international audiences. So what do you guys think? I know. What's up with everybody like committing crimes? At least Thanksgiving was nice and peaceful for like a second, it felt like. Yeah, like Sarah Sunshine, he won't get an unbiased case anywhere he goes in this country. No, you're absolutely right. I don't believe that for a second. Because even before, and I've said this before, even before I did true crime on YouTube, that case stuck with me. For some reason, that case was like, I needed answers as like just a person. You know, I would get on my computer every like 6 months, 8 months to a year or so. And I would just like, you know, Google their name and see if like maybe the case had been solved and I just didn't hear about it. It was just, it's one of those cases that sticks with you. It's like a Jump and Nate Ramsey case. You know, you just want to know the answers. Hopefully someday we'll have answers in that case as well. The 13th of February, what is it? Is my boy's dad's birthday, who has now passed away in the 2 days before mine. Aw. Yeah, so the 13th. That's just like a sad day. Yeah, maybe there's something wrong with the 13th of the month. But yeah, so that's all I have for that. And then before we get started with all of the good stuff, you guys are going to like kind of laugh at me, but not laugh at me. So I just been having like, okay, I've been a little, having a little anxiety over this. And so I figured I'd bring it to the table because, you know, you guys are my people and I bring everything to the table with you guys. But I feel like other creators, like regarding, you know, the Kylie Rodney case, I feel like people are dragging, dragging it out at this point. Let's face it, her mom, the town, the police, the FBI, and more all with, you know, they're all good with the conclusion of that case. I mean, it's weird to me, like, that the only people that are still talking about this case are creators that, like, seriously, that it seems like they cannot connect, like, create other content. I've been looking, and like watching things, and it's like not factual at all. Like they'll do other cases and it's just, they must not have their whole heart or something into it. I'm not sure. But I also just feel like if they continue to spread her name like that, and this is why I'm saying this, it comes from a really good place, because when people go to look her up and Google her, they're going to see YouTubers out there criticizing all of this, the stuff that happened. Do you know what I mean? They're not going to have the beautiful things about her. and about all these other, murdered or, accidental deaths or whatever it may be, that happen just with these kids. I just want the beautiful videos to like pop up when you Google search, her name. I just don't want like the bad stuff to pop up. And so I've just been seeing like a lot of stuff, and it's just been making me so heartbroken over it. So I just wanted to bring that out there. I don't know. I hope it makes sense that it was just like, a lot of people are just saying like, it wasn't her car that went into the lake. There was a body switch, things like that. That's not true. I mean, that was her car and there was no body switch. And like, I just don't want those things to pop up when, people Google her name. I want the video of her like playing instruments and singing and the pretty pictures of her, the nice pictures, those to pop up. But I don't know. So maybe we can change that. We just like, put good things out about her. So maybe I could do that. Maybe I can make a nice video or tribute or something. And then maybe, I don't know, it could be like in the algorithm. I don't know. It's just it's strange to me. And it's strange that they haven't officially closed that case. That is strange to me. And there are things that are strange in that case to me, but it's like, I don't know. It's just so crazy. It feels like with a lot of cases, it's just, I don't know that like the content that they're like people are putting out with her right now is not good content. It's not even entertaining content. It's like you're beating around the bush content, because it's like, we don't have anything new. We never had anything. We haven't had anything new since freaking, Check a TV pulled the laptop out of the reservoir or something back in August. It seems like maybe September we had something, but it's just been so long. Also, a creator came out with a video this morning saying that he had a personal letter from somebody that was there in the Idaho house the day that they called 911. Okay, well that's a total lie, because it was literally the same exact letter that I read to you guys yesterday on the live. Like verbatim, for every single word. So, and I can't remember who it was that they gave me the Twitter info, remember, and I read it like out loud to you guys. We talked about the 911 call and things like that. So we're gonna go back over that 911 call today, because yeah, I just feel like it's already public knowledge on Twitter and on Reddit. And so that person didn't want to put their name out there. Like the creator didn't want to put the person's name out there, but I'm like, it's already public knowledge. It's already been out there. So I just wanted to get back over that, because I'm just like, oh my gosh. Yes, Joanne. And like, yeah. And like, if there's like something that comes out that needs to come out, I feel like it'll come out, but I just don't like all the conspiracies and stuff going around. Mystic Werewolf. I think that's who it was too, Isabel. I couldn't remember if it was you or a Mystic Werewolf. Okay, because you guys are both awesome. So awesome. Like, literally, you guys, like, Mystic Werewolf was like, check this Twitter out. And I was like, okay. And I was like, whoa. When I read that out loud and then I read it again to myself, it does make a lot of sense. But I've only read it twice. And then I was like, you know what? Don't read it anymore, because then I'll just, I'll start thinking things. So I figured we'll just read it all together. And then I have like some videos to show you. A lot of people put stuff out. I also wanted to go over a couple of things about the price or the apartment price and her Range Rover price, because I don't know. There's creators are out there speculating, saying that, maybe somebody hurt these girls because they had money. And I don't think that's the case at all. It's like they didn't have that much money. They were servers. You can make a lot of money serving. You really can. And they're college kids. Their parents probably paid for a lot. But I figured, you know what, we'll go over it. So we'll go over that first. And then also I have so I do have the email address for the Moscow Police Department. Let me know throughout the chat if you guys have any questions that you want me to personally ask them. I'm going to ask them about the chairs on the back door. I'm just really curious about the chairs. And then if you guys can think of any questions that you want me to ask, I can ask them when I email them today, because I'm going to check my emails. Isabel, he said until new evidence comes along, I think she does. I think so too. I really do. It's just it's just too much. Like I don't know. I can't. It's hard for me to even explain it to you guys, but it's just I get so passionate about it because I feel so like bad for this girl. I mean, and then for people to try to just like milk it and keep milking it. And it's just, you know what I mean? It's like, I mean, let this girl rest in peace. Let her just have some peace. Because I feel like we need to be talking good, positive things, you know, not comparing her to other people's tragedies and things like that. And it's just been nuts, I feel like, on the YouTube range. But I mean, that's just what happens, I guess, when you have a channel. I don't know. And if you're really passionate about stuff, like I get passionate when I start a job or anything. I literally put my whole heart into things. And so I can get almost like even just sensitive or sentimental to certain people, you know, like, and I feel like that you sit there and you eat, breathe, sleep a case for 2 or 3 months, and then you don't get any you don't get any answers at the end. It really does get to you. Because I'm one of those people, if I have a question, I need an answer. Like, I'll go to the depths of the end of the world to get the answer. I need the answer, though. So I've always been like that. I'm incredibly just different when it comes to needing to know information. See, that's what I thought. That Jen, the chairs were lying down supposedly to keep the sliding doors from opening. So were they there? Like, so did the doors automatically open if the chairs weren't there? Is that why they had them sitting there? Because that would make sense. Like, I didn't think about that. If the door like wouldn't stop sliding open. And then we're going to go back over, we'll go over this stuff really quick. So her Range Rover, I just pulled up like a couple, you know, I was like, I'm just going to pull up a couple and just look at the prices of them. Because my first car was a Grand Cherokee. It was like a 99. I can't remember when I bought it. Like, I can't remember the year, but it wasn't that old. It was like 20 some thousand. And these run about like 29, 28. Like, this one is, I don't know what's so special about that. It's probably because it's V8 supercharged. But like this one here, 34, you know, 48. So that would put her monthly payments, if it was 30,000, let's say, like 48 months. I mean, that would only put her payments, it's a little high, 625 or something like that, I think was the math. But I mean, it's doable. Or if she didn't buy it and she leased it, it would be even cheaper. So I just wanted to like just go through that, because I know people were saying stuff about like her, you know, her making like, I don't know. I think people were saying like she had like people like the girls had like an OnlyFans page and like this and that and the other. And there's nothing to say that they did. And there's nothing to say that these girls did any drugs or that Ethan did partake in any of that. So I just wanted to kind of debunk those things, because I just felt bad that people slander these kids' names. Like, I would hate to be unalived. I am not freaking kidding about it. I would not want to be unalived, because YouTube will freaking spit you, like it'll chew you up and spit you out. Like yeah, it's crazy. Could the chairs have been knocked over when Ethan was attacked? We know how he was near that area. Yeah, well, those chairs were just too propped up, though. Do you know what I mean? Oh yeah, I like him too. And she said, the only person I really watch you is still talking about Kylie is harsh, though. He's not a rumor monger. Yeah, no, there's some of those people are just insane. They should move the trial out of Carroll County, Mike C said. Yeah, I mean, if they need to make sure that we get a good conviction on him, I'm cool with that. But also, it's like those prosecutors, those police, they put in so much work. It's kind of, it would just be, it's kind of a shame, like, that they wouldn't be able to prosecute it. Do you know what I mean? Like, they've been waiting so many years to do this. So, okay, Joanne said, I have a sliding door, glass door like that. The latch broke, but when that happens, you just buy some timbered out and put it in the slide. That makes sense. If that door was broken, that makes sense. But if that was the case, that back door would have been like that night of the killings. They wouldn't have left the back door wide open. So they would have had those chairs there that night. So that means he would have had to come in that front door. And then that front door was left open. Because if the latch is broke, either way, you're not going to leave the back door open, especially in November, middle of November. It's too cold. Last thing anyone wants is Alan getting off due to sorry, I had this thing in the way, due to a claim of unfair trial. Yep, you're exactly right. But just give him whatever he wants, If he needs to change it, then you bring him over here. That's fine. I'll hang with him. Oh, I was going to show you this one too, and then we'll get into the 911 calls and stuff. So this is their house, and I looked it up on. You can look it up on rentcollegepads.com, and I just put in their address. And it's 6 bedrooms, and it's $21.75 per month, which I think is very reasonable. Because shoot, that's big. Like, whoa, how many square feet? Oh, don't even say. I wish it did. But yeah, so that would be like $435 a month if you have 5 people. So that's not too much, I don't think. Yeah, give the man his due process. So yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to bring that up a little bit. So that's where they live, and it's $21.75 a month. That's, man, I wonder how many square feet that is. Because it is a larger house. But you have 5 people that live there. You have to have a larger house with 5 people living there. I couldn't imagine that. My boyfriend lived in a house with like 7, I think, other guys. It was terrible. I'm not gonna lie. Like, you didn't have privacy. I felt like you couldn't even talk to each other, without everybody hearing you. So yeah, that's just the house. Man, they could update that little stove there though. That thing looks like it's old as dirt. Looks like my old stove. It's just because it's white. That's what's it's freaking me out a little bit. Because like I'm used to like all black appliances now. So what was I going to show you? I was going to show you. Let me get some of this stuff off here. There's a couple little like videos I was going to show you, and then I'm going to go through actually the 911 call again here in a second. Or the yeah. So I'll play a couple of videos, and then I'll go through the call, and then we'll play a couple more videos. Let me shut this window for you guys really quick. I can hear the guys mowing outside. Yeah, they'll be coming this way, so I'll try to make this loud though for you guys. Let me see.
Students are extremely on edge, as you can imagine. This house behind me where 4 students were murdered, it is still a crime scene 2 weeks later. There is a killer on the run. Many students here chose not to come back to school. Those who did come back today said they are traveling in pairs. They're staying inside with the doors locked, and they will not go outside after dark. Classes are back in session at the University of Idaho, but it is noticeably quieter. Many students opting not to return to campus since the killer who stabbed students Ethan Chapin, Madison Mogan, Xana Kernodle, and Kaylee Gonzalez is still on the run.
I feel like a lot of people are pretty apprehensive and everybody's being very vigilant. Just kind of like avoiding bars in like downtown areas and things like that, walking with a buddy and like that type of thing.
Local and state police have beefed up their presence on campus, and sorority houses have hired private security guards.
I
personally won't go out at night alone right now, but I do feel like there is like increased police on campus.
Does it feel less busy on campus today?
Yeah, actually it does. It seems a little less people walking around, for sure.
It's unclear what neighbors near the house where the murders happened have told police, or if police have suspect information that they are not sharing with the public. Investigators acknowledge the sense of fear in the small community and say since the murders, they've received 78 calls for unusual circumstances. Everything from a caller telling police her front door was wide open, another reporting someone shining a light into her window, a window tagged in red spray paint, men shadowboxing people, getting close and touching them in a bar, and a woman receiving a note saying she better watch out. It's been a little more than 2 weeks now since the murders. Parts of the timeline are still missing, but we know according to police that Kylie and Madison were here the night before the killings at a bar called the Corner Club in Moscow. Investigators say they were here between 10 p.m. and 1:30 a.m. The bartender inside the club told me workers were instructed only to talk to police. At 1:40 a.m., Kylie and Madison were seen on surveillance video at the grub truck just down the street. Police say they used a private party for a ride back home, arriving back here at the house at about 1:56 a.m. Investigators say the other victims, Ethan and Xana, were seen here at the Sigma Chi fraternity. They returned back to the house around 1:45 a.m., the killings happening soon after. And now, more than 2 weeks later, so much fear and angst that an arrest has not been made.
It just could be anybody.
It could be anybody. It really could.
I mean, you
never
everybody knows somebody's cracked at one time or another.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
It's just so brutal, though. I mean,
Yeah.
That's the thing. That's
Very personal.
Her eyelashes make her eyes look so dark. I don't mean to poke fun at her, but she looks like her eyeballs are black. That's kind of scary. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, Joanne said, I'm sad that Xana's mom has been arrested during this heartbreaking time. It really is. It really, really is. Oh my gosh. Your daughter's name is Honey? That's cute. Or is it Bunny? I don't even know. They were both cute. I know somebody named Bunny. Okay, Bunny.
Too, if you're like.
And as for those police calls over the last couple of weeks, most of them did not result in an official police report, but it gives you an idea of just how on edge people are in this community. You can imagine we're right near the college campus.
He's almost done. I gotta go.
It's personal too.
Like, has anyone else brought this up in any other chat? Because she's like, okay, I'm never getting my eyelashes done again. I've only gotten them done once, but someone should have cut her off. Like, who told her to keep going? That's so insane. If you guys are just now joining, welcome to the channel. We do talk all things true crime. We're going over the Idaho Four Massacre right now. If you could, like the video as you're coming in, drop your name in the chat. We'd love to have you. Also, tell us where you're from. I've never seen her before either. Yeah, these are some new videos I found today, so I figured we'd watch them together. That's crazy. Okay, I'll leave that up in case we need to look at that. And then this one here is, I believe, okay, so this is the University of Idaho student, and she talks about like life on campus. And then I do have one of the victim's sister, and then the one of her co-eds comes forward. I think it's one of the girls' fraternity sisters comes forward to tell us about her last night alive with her. So that'll be a good one to share with you guys. So stick around, make sure that you guys see that one. I'll play this one, and then we'll do the 911 phone thing script, or how it kind of went down. So share this with you guys.
And Megan Stanley is a senior at the University of Idaho. She joined us live from Moscow this morning. Thanks so much for making time to chat. What has it been like for you on campus since you returned from Thanksgiving break?
For me personally, I've really noticed that there's so much tension, there's so much fear. I feel like, with a couple weeks left in the semester and finals approaching, campus should be full of students and really lively. And I feel like I'm only seeing a handful of students walking around. We're afraid to walk anywhere alone. We're afraid to sleep in our own homes now, considering the circumstances around the murders. So we've all been really leaning really heavily on each other, those of us who are still in Moscow.
Has the university said or done anything to reassure you?
They've definitely made statements, saying, kind of be patient with us. Let us know if you have any tips or any information. But I don't think they've really shared enough information with us to make us feel safe. Scott Green, our president, and Dr. Eccles, the dean of students, I've seen them tear up in the press conferences and everything. They're feeling the same pain that we are. But I don't feel that enough is being really done to reassure us as students or even just as a community.
Well, and I'm sure that they have only limited information themselves. So people are just trying to get to some type of answer. But you're an apparel design student, so you don't have the option to attend remotely. You have to actually be in person. So how are the professors and the staff and other students supporting each other right now on campus? What's the vibe? I mean, do people speak openly about it? Or is it something where everybody knows, but people just kind of try to act like life is normal?
Honestly, it really depends on the person and the professor. Some of my classes have moved online, but others, I have to still go to the lab where all of our, sewing machines and equipment are. Students, for the most part, are just kind of quiet. We all know this is going on, but we don't really talk about it because for a lot of us, it's an emotional subject. I didn't know the victims personally, but a lot of my classmates who were in the Greek system did. And it's a really hard subject to broach. We will talk about, safety. A lot of my peers have enrolled in self-defense classes or, started purchasing security cameras, myself included. But I haven't noticed many people actually speaking about the victims themselves. I think as of right now, only 2 weeks later is still too painful for a lot of people.
Right. I can only imagine. Megan, thank you so much for joining us, and please stay safe. And, I know that Brian Enton was talking about students who were walking in pairs, who were making sure not to travel after dark and locking their doors. So lock your car doors as well.
Always.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, that would make sense to do that and stay vigilant. But those girls were staying vigilant that night. I mean, they were in a pair. But I would definitely not be going out after dark if I lived there. I don't understand why she also couldn't do remote learning. She said she was a fashion student. But I mean, even if you had to make physical garments, you would think that you could go to I don't know, have that as your midterm or your main exam, one of your main exams, and then go to the school and present it, or do it online. I don't know if that would be hard though, because it is fashion. I don't know. What do I know about fashion? I only own a boutique. I'm just kidding. I really don't know that much about fashion still. I try, but I don't know that much. Okay, so let's go over the, where was I at? Let's go over the actual 911 calls again, because we went over them. We went over them yesterday in the live stream, and then I actually did a video on them as well. My little dog's out there just barking. Sorry guys, I hate when she barks. If she starts barking again, I'll just have to mute it for a minute. Let me see if I can zoom this in. I don't think I can. Oh yeah, I can. Okay, oops. So I don't know how I did that, but we'll figure that out. Is that too big? Nope, that looks like it's pretty nice, actually. So this is basically an explanation of the unconscious call. So this is going to explain to everybody, supposedly this is all alleged, but this is what happened with the two survivors in the house, and how they called police, why it came in as an unconscious call. All of that stuff should explain a lot of the things that happened. Also, before we read this in the live, we were talking and discussing about, the 911 call, and it lines up with what we were discussing, just prior to getting this information, especially about the 911 call itself, because it was made from the roommate's cell phone, but not made by the roommate, is what we're being told. So a lot of people normally have passcodes on their phone. I said in the live, maybe they had already dialed 911 or started to dial the 911 and they couldn't finish the call because shock overcame them. So that pretty much, and it explains it in this little document that we have too. And this is off of Twitter. So I'm going to read this. I'm just going to grab a drink really quick. And it says, explanation of unconscious call. I saw this comment on Facebook and wanted to share it here because it clarifies everything and to stop people from speculating about the survivors. Also, if you have any questions, I'll stop and you can drop them in the comments. I'll keep looking, try to look in the comments for questions. Hold on 1 second. Okay, sorry about that, guys. It says I saw this comment on Facebook and wanted to share it here because it clarifies everything and to stop people from speculating about the survivors. Supposedly a few days after the murders, someone was asking questions on the victim's past Instagram post about the survivors. Two of the people who were at the house with the roommates when the call was made quickly came to their defense, and this is supposedly what they said. Keep in mind, this is all alleged. Two people who claimed to be at the house with the roommates when the bodies were discovered quickly came to the surviving roommate's defense and wrote that the roommates woke up, went upstairs to the kitchen, and noticed the sliding glass door was open. And it was during that time that they discovered Ethan. They didn't say where he was found on that floor, but that it was so horrific that both girls went into shock and ran outside of the house. One of the roommates fainted and the other was beyond hysterical and not making any sense. Their frantic actions while coming out of the house caught the attention of people walking past. The people responding on the victim's Instagram claimed to be two of those people. Sorry, my watch was vibrating. Oops. They implied that the roommate who fainted had already dialed 911, but was so distraught that she fainted before she could give any info that the dispatcher could understand. So that just says that just says, kind of goes over what I just said. I'm just reading you guys' comments really quick. But yeah, so they implied that the roommate who fainted had already dialed 911, but was so distraught that she fainted before she could give any info that the dispatcher could understand. The only info that the bystander who picked up the roommate's phone could give the 911 dispatcher was she just saw her friend run out of the house and faint. And so let me go back. How do I go back out of this? I don't even know. Okay, here we go. Oops. And then it's this one. How did I blow that up last time? Well, I was trying to make it there we go. Okay. How the 911 call was made on the roommate's phone and by someone else, and why the call went out for an unconscious person. While that bystander was on the phone with 911, the other roommate was hysterically trying. Oh, sorry. I thought I shared that with you guys. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and read it again at the top. How the 911 call was made on the roommate's phone and by someone else, and why the call went out for an unconscious person. While that bystander was on the phone with 911, the other roommate was hysterically trying to explain that something was wrong with Ethan. By this point, several more people had stopped to see what was happening, and one or two of them went into the house to see if they could help him. There were multiple people in the yard at that time, and those people began contacting their friends that someone in the house was badly hurt. Someone called Ethan's brother Hunter to tell him something was wrong with his brother because he lived close to the house, and someone called one of the other victims' boyfriends as he was also Ethan's best friend. They didn't go into detail on if either of those boys had arrived before the paramedics did, but it did kind of sound like they did. I pray to God that they didn't arrive before the paramedics and that Hunter did not see Ethan. That would be terrible. Mystic Werewolf, good morning. We're going back over the 911 call that you gave us. You were on this yesterday. You were seriously on this. I love this. This is really good information. It really is. So then it goes down to here. They didn't go into any detail on what kind of injuries Ethan suffered. They also didn't say if anyone went to check on the other roommates before the paramedics arrived, but it did somewhat imply that someone had. The only details they gave about the scene itself was that it's incomprehensibly bloody. While those people were in the house checking on Ethan and possibly the other roommates, the paramedics arrived to a very chaotic scene, believing they were to access an unconscious person outside, but were redirected to go inside to help someone who was hurt very badly. So they walked into the house unaware that it was a crime scene, contaminated most of everything on the second floor. It doesn't sound like the roommates were roaming throughout the house, carelessly contaminating. Oh, let me see. I don't know how I did that before, but I did it somewhere. Okay, never mind. It said, let's see. Oh, that's probably why. Man, how did I do that before, guys? This one might be a little smaller because I can't get it to like blow up like I did the other ones. If anyone knows how to do that one, then iPad, let your girl know. Or a MacBook, I mean. So it says, very badly. So they walked into the house unaware that it was a crime scene, contaminated most of everything on the second floor. I'm really upset about that. Oh, there we go. There we go, guys. Okay. It doesn't sound like the roommates were roaming throughout the house carelessly, contaminating everything, fully aware that their friends had been murdered. It sounds like the scene was contaminated by numerous people who were trying to help, unaware and unable to comprehend that they were looking at what they were looking at and that it was the crime scene. This reminds me of John Bonet. It really does. When they have all those people in and out of the house before the police even arrive. I was going to go through these. I was going to go through your comments a little bit. Yeah, it's just so crazy. Yeah, I wish that they would just, yeah, they should release a little bit more to us. But did I read this again? So my heart breaks for these two poor innocent young females. Not only have they experienced a trauma so brutal that it cannot change who they are at their core, but they also have to live with the fear that someone might be coming for them and that the grief of loss of four friends, plus a life that they once had that will never exist again. And if that wasn't traumatizing enough, they also get to live with millions of people publicly criticizing, persecuting, and incorrectly judging them for actions people assume they may have or not have taken. Some of the comments left on Instagram pictures of the victims, especially the ones the survivors were tagged in, were beyond nasty, if not downright cruel. I don't understand how our society becomes so inhumane. It sounds like the two surviving roommates' behaviors were 100% appropriate for the situation they found themselves in, and I agree. Like I said, this is all alleged, but I think it explains a lot. I am marking this as information rather than theory because I am not making a theory myself. I am just relying information given by the individuals who were there when the call was made. So, what do you guys think of that? Joanne says, at TitaniumBuilt, what you have read out explains everything so much more believable now and clarify things. Why did the police not clear that up to stop all the false accusations put out? Exactly. I think that this is very, like this explains a lot of the little details that we are all freaking out kind of about, like how was the 911 call made, from the roommate's phone, but the roommate didn't, make the call, things like that, how they were traumatized, and that's how they couldn't, they didn't believe what they were seeing, and that's why they didn't know that it was to scream out blood and those things, because I think that they were seriously in so much shock that they just couldn't. And I've been saying that all along. I really feel like they were in complete and utter shock, because I know that feeling, and I know the feeling of loss. So, and I just know that feeling of being in shock, and you'll do crazy things when you're in shock. Like, I mean, seriously crazy things. And you don't even know you're doing anything wrong. If they would have taken that one press conference, instead of like giving themselves a shout out like the whole time, and then just like broke it down like this for us, then we probably would have been doing a lot better right now, because this does explain so much more. So if you guys are just now joining us, don't forget to hit the like button. Please subscribe to the channel. It's a good channel. If you haven't, if you weren't here when I was reading out the whole 911 call, it is on Twitter, and it is on one of my videos I just posted a couple hours ago. So it is there. The way the reporting, Marilyn said, the way the reporting of the phone call was, the police, had people thinking the killer called the police crazy. Yeah, they didn't give us an explanation on that at all. So whoever this was, they got this information, from somebody that was there. So maybe a neighbor or something like that. I think that makes way more sense than a lot of the other theories that we've been kind of like running with and, hearing. And I knew that it was probably something like, they were in shock or something like that. But then again, I didn't know, I don't know those two girls that well, or at all, but they don't seem like they're bad students, or, they don't look like they're on drugs or do drugs or things like of that nature. They look like they maybe go out and have some drinks and they go to class, like you're supposed to do. Let's see. There is a new timeline on here. Every time I go to mute it, to yell, holler at Mia to stop barking. It's so funny. She stops barking. So this one's the victim's sister. What's the other one? Okay, so I'm going to play this one, and then I'm going to play the one. Actually, let's just do this one first. I'm going to play this video now. It's the Idaho victim's sister releasing timeline step by step step in the right direction, and it just came out.
Doesn't matter here. It's been 2 weeks since 4 University of Idaho students were stabbed to death in their off-campus house. Police still have 0 suspects, but school is back in session. Kids are back on campus. Is that okay? Back with me tonight is Olivia Gonsalves, the sister of one of the victims, Kylie Gonsalves. How you doing? How was Thanksgiving for the family? How you all holding up?
Yeah, I think that we're all doing the absolute best that we can. It's hard as we creep into, week 3 now. But Kylie would be really proud. We cooked Thanksgiving dinner. She was really excited for Thanksgiving this year. So we did it for her and for Maddie.
Well, look, I'm glad you guys are leaning on each other. As we spoke the first time, you're going to have to do that, because that's how you keep your sister alive in your own hearts, and of course the cause of justice here. How are you feeling about what the police are telling you about progress, especially in light of the fact that they have kids back on campus?
Yeah, I would say one piece of, progress that I was really happy to see is that they did officially update the timeline to reflect Kylie and Maddie getting home at 1:56 a.m. I've been pushing that from the very beginning, and it was, a step in the right direction to see that was taken seriously, and that was verified on their end as well.
Why?
So, because I think for us, it's important that the families are being listened to. We have these kids' names, but I think it's important that law enforcement understands who they were as well. Because a name can only get you so much. It doesn't explain what they would have done, how they might have responded, conversations that they had had with their loved ones. I think that that's just as valuable in this case as any other piece of evidence.
One of the points of speculation is that Kaylee had an ex-boyfriend. Phone logs show she made 7 calls to the ex that night. The police say it's a non-issue. What's your take?
Yeah, I completely agree. I could not be any happier to see that they have cleared him. From the beginning, I knew that it wasn't him, and I'm happy that they're focusing their attention somewhere else now.
The nagging question is, you know, in most homicides, when death is caused by somebody else, it's almost always somebody the person knew or had some kind of connection to. How does that haunt you, and what does that mean here?
Right. It's really difficult, especially because law enforcement is kind of throwing around this term targeted. But we don't know what that means. And it almost makes it feel alienating because we don't have any more information on that. I don't know who that target was. I don't know if it was all of them, if it was one of them. And I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
The 2 other roommates have been cleared. Are you okay with that?
I think that I hope that they are doing well. And I can only trust law enforcement has done their due diligence and all of the people that they've cleared thus far.
Sorry, that was super loud. I think I was looking at trying to look back up at Tony's comment because I read it and I was like, oh, that is a good comment. And then now I can't find it. Oh, there it is. And he said, how come nobody from the party that Ethan and Zaina attended at 9 p.m. have spoken? Lots of talk about Maddie's visit to club and food truck, but almost no mention of party that Ethan was at. Yeah, that's true. I don't know why they haven't mentioned that more. I'm hoping, I'm sure the officers have interviewed them because I think they said how many people they say they interviewed. I forget. I can look on their website. They said that on their website how many people they interviewed because we were like, wow, that's a lot of people. Like I was thinking that has to be fraternity house or something. I was going to see if I could find it really quick. That just is. I don't see it in here now. Let me see. Yeah, I might not. I don't know where I saw that actually, but I saw it somewhere. That they had maybe it was a press conference that they actually said it. But they said that how many people they had interviewed. I can't remember exactly how many, but I think it was a lot. Yeah, all DC sniper case around here, and we had updates all the time. I wish Moscow did updates more often. They do have this, so they do have their webpage linked to, which I think is nice. I mean, most places don't have this. So if you go back and you go onto the Moscow, police department website, you can go right here and it'll say King Road homicides. And it literally will tell you everything you need to know about the case and just what happened, all the frequently asked questions, the last press conferences, new press releases, which we went over these yesterday in the live. So I think that's pretty cool that they do that. I've never seen other police agencies do that. I wish more people would do that. I Mr. Werewolf said, I wonder if the killer is shaking after seeing the international attention the case has got. I don't think he expected it. He will get caught. Yeah, definitely. I don't think he expected all of this attention either. Let me see if there's anything on Twitter, and then I'm going to play this video that was just posted this morning. What's this? Okay, I'll show you guys that at the end too. So don't let me forget. Because I think this is the last thing I had to show you. For now. And then until I get off of here and I find a bunch more things I need to show you, because I'll be doing that. Okay. So this one's a good video.
Former homicide detective Brian Foley with us now to discuss former homicide detective Brian Foley. Brian, what do you make of the handling of this investigation 3 weeks in now?
So look, kids don't have enough to worry about going to school and their safety. Now they have to worry about this. Police are really going to have to manage their communications now at this point, and they do this through three certain steps. One is to express concern. They've done that. Two is to ask for help. They've done that too. The third thing is build confidence, and I think they've done a good job in that to this point. One, they ask for help from bigger agencies. The Moscow Police Department right away decides this is probably too big for us, and we need all the help that we can get. If you look at that press conference last Wednesday, you saw that state trooper basically give the crime scene 101 class during his press conference. So in the absence of case details, specific things to the investigation that they can't talk about because those things are only known, those facts are only known to the victim, the suspects, and possibly the police. In the absence of that, he starts talking about their crime scene techniques. Now, what that's going to do is, one, give the reporters something to nibble on, but two, it will help the general public have confidence that law enforcement is doing everything they can to catch that killer. And I heard your reporter say that there's a lot of police on campus. That can go both ways. That can cause fear, but it can also help people to feel safe at the same time. So it's up to them to communicate that, hey, we don't have cops out here right now because we have a threat where we know there's something going on, but basically this is to make you feel safe and help the educational process get back on its feet.
I can't even imagine what it's like for those college students returning to campus, although we have seen that some have chosen not to. The school has said they're going to try to accommodate some of those students with virtual learning. I know there's fundraisers going on to provide some of those students with alarms to carry around on campus in case they see something, they can say something. But this is not the concerns you hope for any college student to return to campus with. The police are going to have a huge task to respond to the growing number of 911 calls they are reported that they're getting now.
So we're in a different era now with, I hate to say it, as a homicide investigator, when I first heard of the facts of this case, my gut feeling, serial killer, and I hate saying that, and I don't know the circumstances, just my gut feeling. Every knife homicide, it seems like, is very passionate, very emotional, very loud, very violent, with a struggle. This is different. It's an anomaly. It's almost like it was emotionless, where you have 4 people killed, a suspect who's able to maneuver around, we assume, a dark apartment, and go to 4 different places, or 3 or 4 different places, and commit these murders. So let's look at what police have not said. After every homicide, the police department, almost, not every homicide, but most homicides around the country, after the police will come out and say something along the lines of, hey, the general public doesn't have to be scared here. This is an isolated incident. This was a targeted attack. They haven't said that, and that's chilling. They've said, in fact, quite the opposite. Be vigilant, lock your doors, look out for one another. Please send us help.
Well, not initially, but then they came back and said that, right?
You have this type of killer out there, and police have to communicate that through social media and regular media. And as you can see, things grow on their own. So it's up to them to control the message and get out there. And again, to this point, I think they've done a pretty good job about that. The cops know who they're talking to. When they say something publicly, they're talking to the victims' families, they're talking to the general public, and they're talking to the killer. And I can tell you right now, they're not going to name a suspect. They're not in the business of naming a suspect. They're not going to. Nor would they say that it's a serial killer. I don't think either.
Everybody's frustrated.
That would not assist to their investigation. And I promise you, they're only going to talk about things that will assist their investigation. Okay. They have psychological profiles saying this type of suspect, you should say these types of things publicly about this type of case. So it's very refined, very strategic, very planned out. And to this job, Moscow State Feds, in my opinion, I've been doing this over a decade, I've done an excellent job in communicating.
Got it. Thank you very much for joining us. Appreciate it.
All right. Thanks for having me, Sandra.
I'm sorry, but that made me giggle at the end. So has anybody seen that lady before, prior to this? I didn't mean to exit out of it without showing her picture again. She is on one. I don't know who she is exactly. I'm going to get up and open this window up while I'm talking to you guys because it's really warm in here. But the other day when I was listening to her, it was about this case, and she went off the handle about how everybody should have a gun, and how as everybody's right to have a gun in this country, and like this, that, and the other. And I was like, whoa, lady. So she just got it like back to her, like full, that was a 180 for her. She was like, yeah, I'm done talking to you. And he has kept on talking. I think that I agree with a lot of the stuff that you guys are all saying. I was reading the comments and stuff like that. And then I also found the other video. I think that one of the sorority sisters came forward and wanted to talk about the final night with one of the victims. So I did find that video. So I'm hoping that it is the right video and that it is, because I thought that was the video I just played and it wasn't. Public art critic said killer must have known known the area well and probably lived very closely, otherwise would be caught on a camera on streets outside. I agree with you wholeheartedly. I think it's a roommate within 100 meters of the house. Yeah, I think that it could be, or not a roommate, a neighbor. I don't know if it's a roommate or neighbor. I'm sorry if I did, but like a neighbor. I really do believe that it could be somebody that's close, maybe that has a girlfriend or somebody where it doesn't even look suspicious for them to be even looking in that direction. I think that could be totally what it could be. Marilyn said they must have had something. The killer had to leave something behind. They cannot say yet as they only get one shot to convict the killer. You're exactly right. Yeah, then they don't owe us anything. They really don't. And I'm glad that they are bringing it out, like in the, the Moscow, the website and stuff like that. And if you're just now joining us, in the beginning of the video, we did go over all kinds of case updates. So make sure that you watch the replay. We went over the change of venue for Richard Allen and Jerad Liesek's going to court. There was no update on Leilani Simon's court date, but we did get a court date for Sarah Wandra, and that's going to be for the Micheal Vaughn case, December 1st at 1 p.m. So 4 p.m. here at Eastern Standard Time, I will be going live. Also, Jerad Liesek's going to court November 30th. So that's tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. So it'll be 1:30 Eastern Standard Time, and I will go live also with that coverage. So if that's something that you're interested in, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon. That way you're alerted to the live videos. And also I don't have mods, so that's why I had to, I have to interlude here and there. Just do a little, intermission. Also, if you could please like the video, that would be awesome as well. Just smash that like button. It's been a good video, I'd say. Let me see here. It was, I think, maybe this video. Let me see if I can, let me share this one with you. See if we can find this video, and then we'll go from there. See, it's this guy again.
Here with us now to discuss former homicide detective Brian Foley. Brian, what do you make of the handling of this investigation 3 weeks in now?
That's the lady that we just heard.
So look, kids don't have enough to worry about going to school and their safety. Now they have to worry about this. Police are really going to have to manage their communications now at this point, and they do this through three certain steps. One is to express concern. They've done that. Two is to ask for help. They've done that too.
See, like right here, but. It says one of the four University of Idaho students killed by an unknown suspect earlier this month was spotted having a normal night out with her friends 2 hours before tragedy struck.
So look, kids don't have enough to worry about going to school and their safety. Now they have to worry about this.
21 spent much of the night of November 12th at Moscow's Idaho's Corner Club, where she was spotted just laughing with all of her friends at Madison Moy, a fellow student and neighbor.
And I think they've done a
It
good
was
job.
just a normal night in Moscow. Moy, a 21-year-old sophomore, told Fox News Digital on Monday. Moscow is a safe place. Nothing like this ever happened. I didn't think anything of it.
Basically give the crime scene 101 class.
Moy said Logan was at the club, a club spot for University of Idaho students, for the majority of the night.
Because those things are
Police,
only
Mogan and Vaughn
known to the victim, the
left
suspects,
the bar around 1:30 a.m. and went to a nearby food truck.
He starts talking about their crime scene
road
techniques.
home
Now,
at 1:56
what that's going to
a.m.
do is, one, give the reporters something to nibble on, but two,
This
it
is
will
insane.
help the general
friend saw
public
her, I was
have
gonna make a
confidence
phone.
that
Right
law
here's
enforcement
the
is doing
corner
everything
club.
they can to
Travis left
catch
the
that
truck
killer.
later that day
And I
when
heard
police
your
received a phone
reporter say
call
that
to
there's a lot of
Rick's
police
home
on
for a report
campus.
of an
You know, that
unconscious
can go
person
both
just
ways. That
before
can
noon.
cause fear,
Officers
or
arrived in
it can
front of the
also
4
help people
students.
to feel
Vaughn
safe
found
at the same
Mogan,
time.
Ethan
So
Chaplin,
it's up to
20
them
and
to
20-year-old
communicate that, hey,
man
we
from
don't
an
have
auto
cops
on the
out here right
second
now
floor and
because
third floors with
we have a
multiple
threat
fatal
or
stab
we
wounds,
know there's
police
something
said.
going on. But basically, this is to make you feel safe and
And
help
this
the
is really
educational process get
I
back
don't
on its
know,
feet.
but
I
the
can't even
victim's
imagine what
injuries
it's like for
indicated
those
that they were
college
stabbed in
students
their sleep
returning to
between
campus,
3 a.m.
although
and
we have
4
seen that
a.m.
some have
In
chosen
some
not
signs
to.
show
The
the
school has
victims
said they're
trying
going
to
to try
fight
to
back,
accommodate
police
some of
said.
those students with
Investigators
virtual
believe the
learning.
killer used a
I
single
know there's
fixed-blade knife
fundraisers
to
going
carry
on to
crimes.
provide some of those
2
students
other
with
roommates were at
alarms
the
to
bottom
carry
floor
around
down
on
here
campus in case they see
of the
something, they
home
can
at the
say
time they
something.
attacked and survived.
But
Police
this is
said.
not
Aaron
the
Snell,
concerns you
communications
hope
director for
for
Idaho
any
Four
college
Massacre,
student
not
to
answer a
return to
question on
campus
Monday
with.
related to whether the
The
surviving
police are going to
roommates
have a
had
huge
guests over at
task
the time of the
to
crime.
respond to
That's a
the
good
growing
question.
number of 911 calls
I didn't know.
they
That's a
are
good question.
reported that
We've been
they're
back and
getting
forth.
now.
Did the other 2 roommates?
So we're in a different era now.
Yeah,
where,
Isabel, that's what
you
I
know,
was just gonna
I
say.
hate to say it,
So
you know, as a
they
homicide
both
investigator,
were.
when I first heard
They
the facts of this
they're
case,
they both called
my gut
Jack.
feeling, serial
I think
killer.
it's Jack,
You know,
right?
and I hate
At
saying that, and I
2:52
don't know the
a.m.
circumstances.
So, but
That's my
they
gut
were
feeling. Every
drinking.
knife homicide, it seems like,
So
is
if she
very
put her
passionate, very
phone
emotional,
down
very loud,
at
very violent
2:52,
with
they
a
were
struggle.
probably both passed out.
This is different. It's an
Like
anomaly. It's almost
completely
like it was
out. They went to
emotionless,
sleep
where
right after
you know
that
you
by
have 4
3:15.
people killed. A suspect is able to
3:30.
maneuver around.
So that
We
only
assume
gives
a
them
dark
like a half
apartment,
hour. So that
and
means
go to
that
4
that
different
leads
places or 3
me
or 4
to
different
think that
places and
the
commit
person that did this
these murders.
had to
So
have been really
let's look at
close
what
by
police have
and
not said.
watching
After
those
every
lights go
homicide,
out
the police department
to
almost
know
not
when to
every
even come
homicide, most
in
homicides
and
around the
do this
country,
and
after
carry
the
out
police
this
will come out
plan.
and say something along the lines of, "Hey, the
And
general
there's
public
all that
doesn't have to be
there's
scared.
words
This is
and
an
those trees
isolated
right there.
incident. This
That
was
I
a
mean that
targeted
makes
attack."
perfect
They haven't
sense.
said that, and that's chilling. They said, in fact,
Encyclopedia
quite the opposite. Be vigilant.
of
Lock your
True
doors.
Crime
Look
and
out
the
for one another.
Unknown. I like
Please
that
send
name.
us
Well, not
help.
Said I
initially,
live
but
alone
they
on a
came
remote
back and
area. I
said
work
that,
in a
right?
house in
This
sketchy
type of
areas a
killer
lot, and that's why I train my
out there,
dogs
and
for
police have to
protection. I usually
communicate
carry
that
2 of
through
them with me.
social media
Weapons are
and regular media. And as you can
I
see,
guess you're still writing.
things
But
grow
oh yeah,
and
weapons
so it's
are
up
home
to
defense.
them
I
to
had a
control the
creeper try
message
to
and get out
break
there. And again,
in, and
to
that's
this
when
point, I
we
think they've done a pretty
require the
good
firearms.
job
Yeah, I
of
mean,
that.
and
The
that
cops know who
everybody
they're talking
should.
to.
If you are an
When they say
adult
something publicly, they're
and
talking
you know
to the
you
victims'
can
families.
lock it up
They're
and you
talking to the
can
general
you know
public.
do all the
They're
safety
talking
of
to
a
the
gun.
killer. And I can tell you
More
right now,
power
they're
to
not going
you.
to name a suspect. They're not
I don't mind
dancing to name a
shooting me a gun
suspect.
every once in a while. I'm from the
They're not gonna
country.
say, nor have they
I've
said
never
that's a
owned one
serial killer
myself,
from
but all of my
55.
friends, most of my
Everybody's
friends, I would say
would not
probably
assist with
50% of
investigation. I
them have
promise you,
guns or
they're only going to
have
talk
owned a
about
gun.
things that will
My
assist their
brother's a hunter and
investigation.
his
They have
sons are all
psychological
hunters,
profiles saying
so
this type of
I know a
suspect.
lot
We should
about
say
you know
these
guns
types of
and
things
knives just from
publicly
them.
about this type of case. So it's very refined, very strategic, very planned out. And to this job, Moscow State Feds, in my opinion.
Can you not hear me? Can you hear me now? Okay, sorry about that. Maybe I did something. I don't even know. And maybe I was on the stream. That was weird. A Crimson Crime. I like that name too. Okay, well, hopefully you guys can hear me now. Sorry about that. I was just reading this, so yeah, I mean, this is just like letting us know kind of what happened. We've already kind of read over this, and I did read over the news from like the new press release. I'm gonna shut that door again. What are these guys doing to me today? The gardeners are outside, but like they left for a little while, and then all of a sudden they were back. I'm like, really, guys? When I first came on the live, my fan broke, and it's kind of like a blessing in disguise because I really don't want that fan. I didn't really like it, so it's kind of a blessing. But I had to bring in one of the other fans, but it's not really a fan. It's like a filter thing for the house. I don't know what those things are called. Mystic Rose said the kills had to be instant. It can't be slow because the roommates and neighbors would have heard screaming for help help. At least one of the victims would have attempted to dial 911. Yeah, I think you're right. Like, I think that's what they said, that they were all stabbed to the chest area. I believe that was probably done first, especially with Ethan, I would say. I mean, that's what I would try. If I was, and going to go in that house and hurt somebody, I would go after Ethan first. He's the guy, he's the biggest target. And I would go for the chest. I mean, a knife, I don't know. It's just, it's so bad. We've went over a lot though. In an hour and 15 minutes, I feel like we've hit up so much stuff. I don't think that there was anything else on here. Has anyone else seen anything new? I think we kind of went through everything that that I have. We did all that in an hour, 15 minutes. That's really awesome. The perp probably punctured a lung, which would make screaming impossible. That would hurt. Okay, I've had that happen. I've had a punctured lung and it collapsed. And that, yeah, I hope he did. I hope he had a puncture. I hope he did, because that is the worst pain I've ever experienced in my life. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy, except for him. No, I wish that on him. But yeah, no, it's, yeah. Yeah, we are the, so Encyclopedia of True Crime and Unknown. Yeah, we already went over the 911 call yesterday on our live. We went over that yesterday because we had those details yesterday. And then I did a video this morning over it because I didn't think people would watch the whole live to see it. And then I saw that he put out a video on that also. So yeah, for information, that's on Reddit and on Twitter. It's available right there if you want to look at it too. I did it and we went over the 911 call in this video too. I just actually, I don't know if you were in here when we went over it, but we just went over it about 20 minutes ago. I wonder if there was any videotape playing. Oh, you just found me. Oh, I know they'll say that your name is so long. I love it though. We got so many new people. So, okay, and that's what I was telling people. I usually do my my lives during the evening, but I'm here during the day. Like I'm here like all day and all night because I'm a homebody. So I was like, well, let me try morning lives, and I like morning lives. So I think that I may do like morning and then do one in the like afternoon, or just, one or the other. Oh, thanks, Sunshine. I like Harsh. I like him. He's different, and that's what I like about him. He doesn't like link up with people to create drama or, do any of that stuff. And I like that. I don't like, I try not to do the drama thing too much. And I think that's all I really have for you. I can't believe that Richard Allen is asking for another change of venue, but he is. So we went over that if you guys are just now joining us. Leilani Simon, no court date for her, but I'm going to keep an eye out. And then I also have, we have two different, we have a press conference and then we have a court hearing that's going to be done this week. So I will get those lives on the chart on the books there. So you guys will be able to see that and your notifications tab. It'll send you guys a notification for that. And I think that's all I really have for you guys today, for right now anyway. I'm going to get off here. I'm going to look up some more stuff. If you have a true crime case you want me to cover, let me know. And yeah. Okay, as an NC. Yes, awesome. I like that. But yeah, so if you guys haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. We do talk all things true crime. I try to do timeline videos for everybody. That way you guys will have like pre-recorded, timelines. That way when we do go live, you'll know exactly what's like going on with the case. The main key points, just facts. Try to keep it to factual things. What else? I go live like every day. I try to tell people I have a schedule, but I don't. I just go all the time. So I will see you guys later on this afternoon, I'm sure. Let me know in the comments below if morning, evening, or afternoon or evening, morning, afternoon, or evening lives work for you, because I could do either or. And I will see you guys all in my next live. I'm going to let the doggies out. And let me know if you guys want me to cover any more true crime cases, any other different ones. I can do that. Most certainly can do that. Email me anything you want me to see at TitaniumBuiltBoo@gmail.com. So I will see you guys all in my next live. Thank you so much for spending a little bit of your morning with me. And I will see you guys all this afternoon. Bye, guys. Oh, and also before I get off here, I want to let you guys know we did go over a lot of stuff in the beginning of this live, and I have a ton of other lives that you guys can check out. So make sure that you check those out because we go over so much during a live. Like, we cover a lot. So just let me know if there's anything I can help you guys find related to any of the cases as well. Bye, guys. Have a great day.